We are saying happy birthday today to an incredibly prolific author, Nora Roberts, who also writes under the name J.D. Robb, born on this day in 1950.
She has hundreds of romance novels under her belt, but has also written in many other genres. Cindy Williams spoke with Roberts in 2007 about whether she thought she'd find so much success.
Absolutely not. I'd never been able to imagine all of this. I was just so happy to find something I really loved doing. And then when I was able to sell, to be able to do something I loved for a living and stay home with my children. I didn't have to make that choice so many of us have to make, and writing gave me that gift. I'll always be grateful for that.
You write a lot. How many books a year do you publish?
I have no idea.
You've lost count.
Well, I just don't pay attention to that. It's just one book at a time. So the only book I'm concerned about is the one I'm writing. So I don't know how long it might take me. And certainly, I usually do 2 J.D. Robbs a year, and at least one Roberts hardcover. And then I also write paperback trilogies. But it might depend. One year I might not have one. One year I might have 2 books in that trilogy, because we usually do them every 6 months apart. So, and the rest that's out there, those are reissues. I'm not a machine.
Well, obviously the stories come quickly, and the other really interesting thing about you is you don't stick with one genre. You cover the gamut. You write murder mysteries, fantasy fiction, and you're best known for romance. Where do you get all of your ideas?
Well, right up at the corner there's a little shop, and you know, the idea shop, and I go in there and I pick one up. No, I have no clue. I think writers are hardwired for story ideas. If I were a dentist, I'd be thinking about dental hygiene all the time, but I'm not, so I think in story ideas.
Where do you find the time then?
It's my job. Where do you find the time to do this, Cindy? What do you know, what are we supposed to do? We do what we do.
Well, you write fast, though.
Yeah.
When we spoke with Nora Roberts in 2007, she was helping to promote some adaptations of her work. The Lifetime Network was producing movie versions of her books, including Blue Smoke.
That one stars Scott Bakula, who plays a fire investigator in that movie, a role he says he plunged right into.
It was very interesting to get to meet and work with arson investigators and try and get a small glimpse, anyway, of their world and what they have to do on a not a daily basis, but quite often in their lives.
I understand there were some times where you were working in some pretty rough conditions with A, the weather, and then B, the flames. Tell me about that.
They had this early kind of freak snowstorm. We shot in Calgary, and there was 6 inches of snow on the ground, and it was below freezing almost the entire time we were shooting. So you had that juxtaposed against walking into a scene that was where there had been a fire or there was a fire, and you're trying to, you know, make adjustments. You're wearing different kinds of clothes to stay warm when you're outside, and then you're next to a fire, an explosion, a big, huge explosion, or whatever it might be. So it was, it created some problems for the crew, and in terms of trying to get the work done.
And you get a bonus today. Scott Bakula entered the Star Trek universe with his show Enterprise. Of course, Rob, a noted Star Trek enthusiast, had to ask him about a little piece of trivia he had heard.
Did I hear a story that a relative of yours once sold a horse to William Shatner?
That is correct. Actually, I always get the story mixed up, but it's either that or we bought one of Shatner's horses, and I can't remember which it is. I think that we bought one of his horses.
Well, there you go. 6 degrees of Star Trek equine separation.
That's right.